Hello everybody and welcome back to Crusader Kings, where we need to get up to a kingdom tier realm. Now, one thing I was wondering is, if we were to become the regent, and he became indisposed, would we be able to grant ourselves that? That's a hard maybe. So he has minus 42 reasons for accepting this right now, right? And that's absolutely fine. Our succession score is 15 of those. We can work on that a little bit. Personality, 71 reasons. Not much we can do about that. His opinion of us is 16 reasons. So more than half of this is his opinion plus our succession score. Both of those are doable. So let's send him a gift right away. We're going to gain some stress here, and he's going to gain a bunch of opinion of us. So now, if we look at this, we can see there's only 19 reasons at this point. 15 of those are our succession score. So, do we want our succession score to go up or down? I don't know. We will maybe find out. So we can promote our candidacy here. We can influence our candidacy for the Byzantine Empire. This would, of course, be way too much. We don't want to do that. I'm going to do a medium contribution here. This is going to change it by 20. And that's fine. We don't need to bring this all the way up to here. That would be insane. And that's absolutely fine. So we're going to put this here, and the question is, does that increase or decrease that number from 15? So we're now at 96, and if we go to the liege here, it's still at 15. So apparently that wasn't enough to change anything, but we can probably get there just from opinion. So there's a couple of things that we can do. We already sent him a gift. We can gift him an artifact, which would be more stress. He would gain 150 opinion of us for this. That's maybe a bit much. 14 opinion. 5 opinion. 5. We don't need 150 opinion. Right, so that's all absolutely understood. This is not a thing. What about this? 87 opinion. Actually, this seems good. We'll gift him this, and that puts him at maximum opinion. He would now declare us regent. Done. We are now his regent. Cool. So now we need him to, like, travel and stuff, and to hand off his regency to us. So now it's a waiting game, right? So that's absolutely fine. And we'll see if he changes that at a certain point. There'll be, you know, machinations and stuff, but we finished up our library. We should definitely work on further constructions here. So we can upgrade our wine cellar. That seems fine. And what other constructions do we have for the moment? Well, none, actually, at this exact moment. And that's absolutely fine. We're deeply unconcerned about money. There will be more. So we're first in line to inherit the province of Edessa, which is not inside our realm. Huh. This guy passed us. Right, we're not too concerned about it right now. We just inherited. We're 33. Our son is 11. We're going to have to wait for him to come of age before we really start investing in that sort of thing. So for the time being, this is fine. I would love to become kingdom tier, and then we would have to worry about that a lot less. But for now, we have to hold the duchies ourselves, which is a lot, of course. So over here in Jaffa, we could get an upgrade going. We could also do that in Tiberias. Neither of those would increase our income. So for the moment, I'm going to get our wine cellar maxed out. We've almost got our estate as high level as it's going to get. It's almost done. So that sounds good. We can take golden obligations here, demanding payment for hooks. And we can also ransom some prisoners, which I'm interested in doing, although we can only do one at a time. Disable building in the Terma of Tiberias. Why? Oh, we don't have the title or done? It's not created. Okay, so hopefully that would be something we would be able to do if this guy enters a regency. Again, it's a waiting game at this point. Okay, so that's understood. So is that boosting our... Hang on, is that boosting our claim on the Byzantine Empire? I'm actually a little surprised that the Regency isn't boosting this. Huh. Minus 100 due to faith considered evil by the state faith. Okay, sure. That's absolutely understandable. Okay, so over here in Jaffa, I do want to get this watchtower building. That'll be fantastic. Do we have any military changes that we need to do? Well, we can check through these and see if any of these are doable. The answer is not currently. An immense wine cellar has been created in the Zadoki estate. So next, we need to simply upgrade one of these. So we need to choose this. Do we want tutor salary cost or legend spread chance? We haven't been interacting with legends, but I'll go that route. That's fine for now. Okay, so we were also thinking about making our way into here, right? And in order to do that, here's what I want to do. We are going to do a boundary dispute, and that is going to be on Aintab here. So we're going to start that. This is not intended to long-term be within our realm. So what I want to do is I want to get a bureaucrat going here, and this is going to end up being... Well, what do we have for people who are free? We need to drop this by 45 days in total between the two of them. Anyone who's free here. Well, that's inauspicious. No, no one who's free there. A level 6? Okay, that's not ideal. Anyone who's free over on this one for the socialite. This is still inauspicious. Very inauspicious. So we're going to have to build up advantages then. At least, well, 3 and 4. I feel like that's not even worth putting them in, to be honest. We'd have to fire them. That might have an opinion malice. I don't know. Did I see somebody who was... 19. That's good enough for now, at least. So that brings us up to 49. What about in here? 20. Yes. That brings us up to 69. I am unfortunately contractually obligated to say nice, much to everyone's chagrin. What else do we have? 9. That is enough. Okay, so that looks good for now, but we're going to have very long scheme phase durations for the time being. So 29. Okay. Yeah, that's going to take a little bit. That's okay. We're not planning on holding that ourselves. That's going to be granted to one of our family members and then given back to this guy to try to just get our hooks into that kingdom a little bit. That's the idea. So we've got a couple of different irons in the fire here. We successfully swayed the Basilius, which is great, and I don't want to hold this, so we're going to grant this on out. Perfect. So that'll be fine for now. Over here in Tiberias, we can go ahead and get this upgrade going. Our observatory was completed in the Zadoki estate, so there's very little left to be done. We can now build a famed observatory. I believe that this is the final... Okay. I believe that this is the final upgrade for our estate. We could be contrite. Is that a problem? Intrigue -2. Actually, that's kind of a problem. So we're going to say no to being contrite. Do we have anything in here at this time? I don't really see anything going on there. Okay. We could definitely do some integration promotion, although I'm pretty sure this is already integrated. We'll give it a try and see what happens. That's okay for the moment. Our status was challenged. Rude. Very rude. Okay, we can ransom off this guy. That's fine. And then we can do another ransom here eventually. There's a new governance issue that's been issued. So let's head on out and see what's going on with this. This is down over here. There's a lot of locations in the way. So the Desert Warrior is useful. There's also... Okay, that's a lot of desert. We could just do mercenary guards, and that will mostly get rid of it. So that looks fine. And then we can pay for it by ransoming this guy. Beautiful. So we're going to head on down. We have not yet been named regent, unfortunately. Well, we have been named regent, but we haven't yet gotten the regency, unfortunately. Okay, well, that was very easy. Diplomacy is not high enough. 150... Actually, that's a decent amount of prestige, so that sounds good. Ignored pasture issues, huh? Okay, so we got improved pastures in Jerusalem. That's fantastic. So we're going to head on back. We can go inside again. Perfect. We now have 3 advantages here. So, do we want to try to pull somebody in here? This guy would be ideal. We could do it with a hefty bribe and scheme advantages. That will accelerate our phase duration tremendously. In fact, that brings it down to minimum. So that sounds good. We can put literally anyone or no one in this socialite role. So that looks good for now. No issue there. So the real question now is, we are the designated regent here. But is this guy going to need a regent? He's in poor health. He could just die. And if he did, I mean, we would have to do other things, right? That's fine. We have multiple irons in the fire here. So that sounds good. There are no additional buildings to upgrade in the Zadoki estate at this point. Everything here is completely maxed out. So that's wonderful. We're very happy about that. Our estate is not going to get any more powerful than it already is. So that looks good. I would love to get more buildings constructed, and we will continue to work. But these buildings are becoming increasingly expensive. This is not terribly shocking. But if we can get a kingdom tier title, that's going to be a huge, huge deal. Okay, peel towers have been constructed in Tiberias. So do we have anything else that we can build? Well, we need more money for that, and that is absolutely fine for now. So we're going to get this. We're going to give it to a family member, perhaps this guy, but I'm thinking a different sibling. Perhaps this half-brother here. He is part of House Zadoki. So that is probably fine. We'll summon the physician here and see if we get anything. A soft approach is best. And I'm not actually sure where this disease is. I don't think it's actually in our realm. We no longer have our personal physician, but she succeeded. And then died of old age. At 65. Okay. Well, that's one way to do things. Okay, what do we got here? We lose 60 stress. Done. So we have as many advantages as we're going to get. We just need to build this up to at least 75%. That's what we're going to need to max out the chances. So we're getting close there. This is growing by 3.6 per phase, so only a few more phases. That seems wonderful. We don't need to continue to sway the liege at this point. That's as good as that's going to get. That's not going to improve anymore just yet. So this looks good for now. So, we are not planning on holding this. This will, of course, cause us penalties because we have too many counties. So, let's go ahead and execute this scheme at this time. We're going to cover every angle, and it was a success. And that's absolutely expected. So, first things first, I want to change this stone watchtower over to being like a hospice. That'll be fine. And then I'm going to grant this out to our brother, specifically. So I want to grant it specifically to this guy, our half-brother. Let's see. He is not in our court right now? Okay. Come on over to court. Okay. He has joined our court. Now I want to grant him an appointment here, and I want that to be the Terma of Aintab. Perfect. So he is now in charge of this. And then I want to come over to this guy, and I want to see if I can give him a vassal here. The answer is no. I can't just gift him that? Interesting. I expected that I would be able to grant him a vassal. I guess perhaps I would have to give it to our liege. That's not ideal. But that will move him out of our realm. So I'm going to do that for now. I was hoping that we would be able to give it to this guy specifically, but that was not an option. So that's understood. So this guy is now out over here. He is our half-brother, and he is on his own, kind of. We'll see if he gets moved in anywhere else. Fingers crossed. Now, we should probably negotiate an alliance with him. He is a member of our family, and we'll do that just to make sure that nothing really happens to him. But, I mean, it would be diplomatic in an administrative realm, right? So that's absolutely understood. Request as house head. Interesting. An interesting courtier, huh? Okay, so that's good to know. Now I want to see what would happen, and we could actually... Can we grant him vassals? No. Okay. So that's understood. In that case, we probably want to take over duchies and grant those over to the liege. Most likely. So let's check in here where we are. 60. Our status was challenged, so we're at minus 3.1 from that. That's understood. Okay. So we're down a little bit because of our level of influence. We just died. That's not surprising. A Liberty faction against the Basilius. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. This guy finally granted us the province of Verdun. Thank you. And that, of course, means that this Magistrate's Court will reactivate. So that looks good. Let's go ahead and upgrade this farms and fields. Fantastic. So he granted us this. That's wonderful. The real question is, what's going to end up happening with this guy? Wait a sec. This is no longer our brother, is it? No, he granted... Ah, our brother is now within this province of Edessa. Okay, so then if we were able to influence the candidacy here of our half-brother, this guy, and put him first in line, we can do that. Like this. Then we could theoretically kill this guy. Emphasis on theoretically. We could theoretically kill this guy, and that's maybe not that bad of a thing. Okay, so our Raban is pretty good at this. We would need an alibi, for sure. And our half-brother is terrible at that. But he could do it. He could definitely do it. I would like to get our secrecy up a bit, anyway. So our Raban could reduce the phase duration quite a lot. What else do we have here for chance here? So this is going to be 13. This would bring it to 48. If we wanted to bring that up, that would need to be a total of 45. Okay, so that's an average of 15 each. So that means our daughter is good enough for this. Hang on. No, we've only got 2. We've only got 2 agent slots here. So we would need to bring that up. So we should have our Raban be here. We should have our infiltrator be our half-brother then. Bring that phase duration down as much as possible. This is still 65-day phase duration. I want to be clear about that. But we should drop that down. We get a new stewardship perk, and we may want to start leaving stewardship. But for now... we're going to take it as my domain, and we're going to extort our subjects. So that looks good. Okay. Why take a little when we could take a lot? Indeed. And that gold is just going to immediately vaporize. We're going to get a hospice upgrade, and we're going to get a hospice upgrade. And we may also be able to get a watchtower upgrade. Cool. So that looks good. Like I said, that gold immediately gone. So that looks great. Okay. So we have a new liege. We will publicly support him. And I don't think that we're the regent anymore. Are we? We may still be the regent, actually. This is indicating that the regent is this lady? Hang on, I'm confused. Let's give that a moment to update. I'm not 100% certain. Undermined governance, very rude. So, if we looked here, declare me co-emperor, but declare me regent is not on here. So, he is currently power sharing, I believe. We're not the regent. But because he's power sharing, we can't declare us regent. That's my theory right now. So we should start working on swaying this guy. Ski mods are poor. That's understood. We'll work on it for a little bit. We're probably just going to pay him off like the other one. But for now, this looks good. So this guy is actually in poor health. We'll wait to see if he recovers from his consumption. He may end up dying, so that's understood. Okay, as far as this goes over here, our half-brother is still leading over here. That looks good. Raise taxes. What is this special levy? Raised taxes would be holding taxes plus 20%. I'm actually going to just take the gold here. That'll be okay. What is this? We are the regent. Okay. So we should swing the scales here, and we can leverage some prestige or influence. I think we'll leverage influence here. We'll swing the scales of power out this direction. But we are the regent, and we're currently power sharing. So the question then becomes, can we create a kingdom title? No, is the answer. That's unfortunate. So we're now the regent for our liege. What's that doing for our setup here? Well, we might be able to just straight up usurp the realm from our regency. So we would like to entrench the regency, but we're going to need to swing the scales further here. We can do that in the 4th of December, 1377. So that's every 2 years. Okay. Noted. I'm not sure that we'll be able to do that. He may die as well, but we are the regent, and that's actually a huge deal. So, we would lose 900 gold. This would be an investment to potentially swing the power. But the odds on this are not good. 36% chance for 900 gold. No. Okay, so we'll not do that for right now. If we had more money on hand, I would probably have rolled the dice on that. But as it is, we don't have a ton of money currently. So Georgian sweats are spreading around these areas. I'm not terribly concerned about it right now. So that is understood. We're continuing to sway this guy. He's not terribly happy with us, but he'll get there. So over here in Gaza, I definitely want to build a farms and fields. We'll get that going. Okay, he passed the centralized bureaucracy law. And I'd love to swing the scales here. So the current swing value is 18.5. Now it's 18.75. Okay. These are not good odds, I don't think. Although 60% chance of getting mapped surroundings would be pretty good. We should probably do that, and we succeeded. That's great. So now what I want to do is I want to come in here, and I'd like to get us a good alibi. All of these people are refusing. Okay, so they're scared of him. We might be able to get this lady in. She would do it for a hefty bribe. That would be 300 gold. Done. We'll get some extra secrecy there. As far as these go, we would need to bring these up quite a bit, right? So I see 18, 23. We could bring in our daughter here. So that brings us up to a 48% chance. And then if we wanted to get that up to at least a 75, I don't know. That's a long ways away. We could bring in this guy. That would just barely do the trick. Okay, let's do it. So that brings us up to 71. That's pretty close. And we lost our infiltrator. Okay, so this is the phase duration reduction, right? And we'd like to reduce this by 61 days. That's not going to be a thing. We could reduce it by 15 with our wife and Duchess. That seems good enough, I guess, for now. So that'll do for the moment, and we're just interested in getting our brother in charge of Edessa, right? So that's the idea here, and our brother is no longer in this. Or rather, our half-brother. Where is he? Did he die? He is no longer in charge here. Well, that's rude. Well, we'll put our brother in here then. And we'll do a medium contribution for now. There we go. So that puts him at 66. And then we can influence this candidacy of... well, this guy. We could slander him. That is an option. If we did this, this would be a... what type of scheme is this? Would this abandon this scheme? Maybe. No, it did not. Okay, good. So we can start to work on this. So we need a courtesan, and what do we got? These are not great at this moment. So a free one would be 18. I mean, sure. And then as far as a bureaucrat goes, we've got this 75 days on this phase duration right now. So we could drop it by 19. And then for a socialite, we could drop this by what? This is not great. Okay, so we'd probably need to bring somebody in for that. As far as an intermediary goes, our options are thin. And as far as a sycophant goes, our options are also pretty thin. We could bring in like a 6 skill. It wouldn't be great. Okay, well, we can work on this for now. It is time to put a cut in here. What do we got here? 36% chance. That would be in Gaza. That's not ideal. Those are bad odds. Okay, our brother is losing him on. Sure. We'll get back to that. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to continue our scheming up over here. Oh, I see he finally granted out Aleppo after literal decades already. It is time to put that cut in, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to continue working on having all of these irons in the fire. It's going to take a little bit. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri 8, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.